Cool.
You should be good. Should be live.
Should be live.
Let me go check my phone.
Oh, we're live. I see it.
Oh, there we are.
We're doing a new thing. What's up? Pancakes. Hello. We're doing a new thing tonight. Pancakes, I appreciate you showing up to all these. There may be a little bit of delay on this stream tonight, so we're trying something new. I'm kind of doing it through the OBS instead of just doing it on my phone. But I wanted to be able to do the dual camera thing, so we're going to test it out. What was it? You repair with face cam? Yeah. Everybody always asks with the for the face reveal. So not that I don't have videos where like my face is right there.
Yeah.
But what's up, Heart Slaver? Hi to you too. If the outer casing of the tracking ring on the Quest 2 is broken... Sorry, you guys probably can't hear me because my microphone's so far away. If the outer casing of the tracking ring on the Oculus 2 is broken, can it be self-fixed? Yes. I have a method for doing this, actually. I'm not going to do it here on the stream because I don't have one sitting in front of me, but I have a video on this. You take the outer ring off, and then you definitely want to take the outer ring off because you don't want to damage the ribbons, the LED tracking diodes. You don't want to damage these little guys right here. But you take that ring all the way off, and you can super glue those components back together, and you put a little bit of baking soda on top of that super glue, hardens like plastic, and then you just kind of sand it down, and it's fantastic. So I've done a handful of repairs that way just for customers who are really, I don't want to spend money on a new outer ring. I just want it fixed, and I do that for them, and nobody's ever sent one back to me that was broken, so I feel like it must hold up pretty well. What's up, Rozzy VR?
The audio sounds really good when you're on the mic.
On the mic. Preston says I need to stay on the mic.
Yeah, just make sure you're on the mic.
On the mic.
You can be right on it. You can kind of be to the side of it like that.
Okay.
That sounds good.
All right. Good. So, can everybody out there hear me okay? Yeah, no problem, Cheesy Stove. Sweet, Rozzy. Thanks for subbing. We're going to do Quest 3 repair. Quest 3 repair starts with a teardown, and then we're actually going to fix this one tonight. Little dog-chewed thing, and got this face mask is all torn up. Dog got a hold of it for sure. I feel bad for these lenses. We may polish those as well. We're gonna feel it out. This is a from the bottom to the top level repair here. But it always starts with a cool. Glad you guys can hear me. Always starts with a teardown. So yeah, it's a real bad dog attack, man. I tell you, I don't know if anything does as much damage. People ask me all the time, like, what does the what are the worst repairs? What's the worst repair you ever do? And it almost always is the dog ones. So they do some serious damage. If you don't have a case for your headset and your controllers, man, invest in a case because it'll save you a lot of money on repairs or on a new headset, depending on what your budget is. So, people tell me my Quest 3 is better than the Quest 3S. I can only get the Quest 3S. Is the 3 better? It's not. So, it's the Quest 3 has better resolution. I mean, the specs on the resolution are just higher on the Quest 3. That's not subjective, but the thing about the 3 versus the 3S is that they have the same processor, they have the same GPU, they have the same RAM. So your performance is going to be just as good on the 3S as it is on the 3. There's nothing that the 3S can't do that the 3 can do. Your resolution's a little bit lower. And it doesn't have the pancake lenses. So it's a little bit more complicated to find that sweet spot maybe. If you really prone to that. If for some reason your IBD is sensitive, if you find that your Quest 2 or your Quest 1 or whatever VR headset you've tried that doesn't have pancake lenses is a little out of focus sometimes, the Quest 3 may be the better buy for you. Some people are more sensitive to that than others, and some people are more, like some people are more prone to nausea from VR, and the Quest 3 does seem to help with that. But processing-wise, capability-wise, the Quest 3S can do everything the Quest 3 can do. After multiple Linux installs and stuff, I think I finally got my Steam running on my Switch. Oh, cool. Pancakes, you seem pretty handy with that kind of stuff. I have people to do that stuff for me. I fix the VR headsets, and if I need anything more complicated than that done, I have my team do it. I had a team of techie people here who are more techie than me. Control. How do you put your faceplate on your headset? Depends on which headset you're talking about, Adam, because they're all a little different. The Quest 3s are kind of funny because they're the silicone ones, but the where did my spudger go? There it is. I'm not a skull. I just look at the guide. I am not. Oh, I see. I just look at the guide and follow exactly what it says, and it still breaks. That's how you learn, though. Anybody out there who's really techie, who does a lot of repairs and tells you they don't watch tutorial videos to figure things out is lying to you. What was your first repair? What was my first repair? Probably an iPhone back in like 2010, 2011. I don't know. Everybody was fixing iPhones back then. I just jumped on the bandwagon. So then I built a Plex server in like 2014 or so. I was kind of early on the Plex thing, but fixed my Oculus. I was wondering if there was a technique to look for scratches or damages in the pancake lenses. No, it's all observational damages in the pancake lenses. I mean, if there's damage like this one, you can see it. It's obvious it's there. So if they look, my rule of thumb with most repairs is if it works and it looks good, it probably does work and it is good. So I try not to overcomplicate things when it comes to that. Have you repaired an Oculus Go or an Oculus One? Oh yeah, we went through. We had a commercial client actually for a while. So Fix My Oculus. Obviously, we do the just everyday repairs for people who want to send their devices in. But we also have a handful of clients around the country who manage, hundreds or thousands of headsets and controllers for various purposes. Museums, physical therapy, education, that kind of thing. And we had a client who had. Preston, how many Oculus Go's do you think they had? 500, 600 Oculus Go's? It was a bunch. So we just had pallets of Oculus Go's that we were repairing. Preston did most of those repairs. I didn't really mess with them too much. And then the Quest 1s, we do repair some Quest 1s. Still, actually, every now and then, I'd say maybe 1 out of 50 or 60 repairs that we get here is a Quest 1, which is surprising because they're not really supported by Meta anymore, but people like them. There's a real loyalty in the VR community. People find a headset that works for them. They find something that they're willing to invest in, and that becomes their baby. Can I fix a tracking problem on a Quest 3? Yeah, you can fix a tracking problem on a Quest 3. If your headset has a tracking loss error, the most common issue is a broken sensor. So you've got 4 tracking cameras on the Quest 3. 1, 2, 3, 4, and then you've got your full color pass-through cameras here at the top, and then you've got your depth sensor here. If there's any physical damage, that's a pretty good indication that there's something wrong with one of those cameras. Why that many Oculus Go's? The go-to by far is the most. Yeah, well, the thing is back in 2016, 2017, when the Oculus Go launched, it was actually considered a pretty good little unit. It really wasn't until the first Quest came out like a few months later that that the Oculus Go seemed like crap, and then when the Quest 2 came out, then they were really outdated, and they stopped getting support really quickly. But there was a lot of companies that were really trying to push VR early on and try to find applications for it. Probably because Meta was really propping it up. Okay, see you later, Rozzy. And thanks for joining. I thought the Go, Quest, and Rift S all came out together. They all came out around the same time. I think they all came out the same year, but I don't think they launched at the same time. What's your favorite VR headset? The one I play on the most is probably my Quest 3. I like my Quest 3 a lot. I don't know why I keep using the screwdriver. This is kind of my long screwdriver. So if I need to reach tiny things that are in tough places, I use that one. Oh, thanks, Cheesy Stove. I appreciate that. That means a lot. What's your favorite headset? Oh, nobody's asked me a question since favorite headset. I remember really loving the Valve Index when it first came out. It's such a bummer that Valve has just totally drugged their feet on the Valve Index 2 or any successor, whatever you want to call it, the Deckard or whatever, just a successor to the Valve Index, because at the time it was so great and I loved those Knuckles controllers. I feel like my Quest 3 controllers probably do a better job than the Knuckles controllers now, but I might be a little biased there. What's your favorite game? I play Blade and Sorcery whenever I get the chance. That's kind of my guilty pleasure whenever I jump into VR. Thank you, Ari Ferrari. I like that name. Have you seen a cracked lens before? Oh yeah, all the time. Yeah, it happens a lot. These lenses are fairly durable, but we just got one in where somebody, I guess they put enough pressure on it where it cracked and it's pushed into the LCD, so it's like concaved in there. That doesn't happen as much as like the outer cameras getting broken. Oh, well, I'm glad you're here, Rozzy. Thanks for hanging out and staying with us. Do you play Gorilla Tag? No, I've never played Gorilla Tag. I hear good things though. I'll probably jump in. It'll probably be an event. We should do like a big giveaway. Like the Gorilla Tag Quest 3S giveaway where we give away a headset and play Gorilla Tag every day for 30 days or something. That'd be fun.
Yeah.
Yes, I did, Ari. I played Gorilla Tag to try it. Too much kiddies. Yeah, that's what I've heard. I've heard there's a lot of kids in the Gorilla Tag. I feel like it's so crazy how we have VR because it's like Ready Player One. It is crazy. I mean, when I was growing up in the 90s and the 2000s, VR was like sci-fi. You saw it in movies and TV shows, and Demolition Man with Sylvester Stallone, and it was like this weird thing that like it was like flying cars. Like, oh yeah, someday we'll have VR, but it never happened. And then all of a sudden we had it, and it was this. And now we kind of take it for granted, I feel like. So I don't think that the pancake lenses are fragile so much as that they're just easy to scratch. I don't see them cracked that much as I just see them scratched because the coating on the outside of them, there's like a plastic UV. It's a very thin layer. It's not even a coating because a coating would be like, like something that's liquid and you put on the lens and it dries and it's like part of the plastic. This outer layer is almost more like just a thin film that sits on top of the lens, and once that's scratched, it's pretty much ruined forever. I've got to take all of that off and then recoat it with like an oleophobic coating just to get it back to where it looks normal again. And it's quite a process. If you watch any of my videos on it, you'll see that it is a time-consuming. I spent probably a good hour today doing a lens refurbishment for somebody, because sometimes they're in really bad shape. Your videos are so helpful. I watched the joystick video to replace my joystick, and I surprisingly didn't break my controller in the process. That's great. That's awesome. Yeah, I don't know. That's why we do it. I love the fact that people can look at these things and watch my videos and figure out what they need to know in order to fix their own stuff. I don't know. That's why we do it. Honestly, why not get lens protectors? They're like $15. I hear you there. Everybody should get lens protectors, especially if you got the Quest 3. You've already paid $500 for the unit. Just get the protectors. It'll save you a lot of money. Unless the dog gets a hold of it, then you're in trouble. They'll get through the protectors. Don't you worry. When did you first start fixing headsets? When did we first start fixing headsets? Has it been 3 years?
Yeah, it's about 3 years ago.
3 years ago. It's been a long time.
We're in 2025.
We are in 2020. Well, the Quest 2 came out October, September of 2020. And so that Christmas season, so it would have been after that. So 4 years. Would have been like February, March of 2021.
That is crazy.
It is crazy. Time flies when you're having fun. Making me feel old here. Have you ever had a VR that's got a messed up motherboard all the time? Let me show you something. This is my pile of bad motherboards that I keep off to the side so that we can go through these and troubleshoot these and try to find resolutions for issues that we've not found resolutions for. I have, I don't know, 20 motherboards over here because it's, that's what the last stream was, wasn't it? Sorry, Kiwi Design ran a thing back when the 3S came out for a free protector. Oh, that's kind of cool. I didn't realize that Kiwi Design did that. Have you tried the Apple Vision Pro? I did try the Apple Vision Pro. I tried it a few weeks ago. We were in Las Vegas. I want to put a video out on it because we filmed the whole experience. Okay, see you, Rozzy. Thanks for jumping in. Don't forget to sub, so we see you next time. But yeah, we did a whole video. Preston recorded the whole thing so we could like actually, you know, see what it looked like in the headset and walk people through it. And we've not published that video yet, mostly because we've just had a lot going on. It feels like ever since we came back from CES, we've just been super busy. But I want to put that video out because I think that it's really cool, and I think that there's a lot of value there in seeing what the actual Apple experience is like compared to, you know, the Quest, which is just something you buy at Target. What's up, man?
We're going to move your camera.
Okay.
We're just going to put this over here because they can't see you.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that makes sense. What's the most nasty headset you got? Like right now, currently in the shop, I don't know, because somebody else, one of my associates, takes the headsets in and kind of checks them out. And if she sees something that's really crazy, she'll bring it to me so I can make a video. But for the most part, they're a surprise to me every time I get one. It's like, oh, what's this? Oh, I see. It's you know, got dumped in a mock bucket or left in a microwave or something. Probably the grossest one that we ever had in the store was this one that I'm not going to say exactly what happened, just for, you know, because I don't want to get banned or anything. But there was bodily fluid from an animal inside of it, and the smell was horrific. I mean, we had to throw the whole box away. It was like a biohazard. I made a video on it, so if you've not checked out that video, it's really obvious which one it is. I think it's the grossest headset we've ever done or something like that. It stunk. It stunk up the whole room. What inspired you or made you start fixing headsets? That's a great question. So shortly after the Quest 2 came out, my business partner and I, we were running a VR arcade at the time. That's kind of how we got our start in virtual reality, was doing VR arcades, and we repaired our own stuff. We had the HTC Vives, the Vive Pros, and a few Valve Indexes, and so we fixed headsets a little bit just for the business, but we really kind of started getting into it because people started breaking their Quest 2s and they didn't have any place to take them. Oh, what's up, Invro? And so this young man and his father came in with a Quest 2, and it had a broken tracking camera, and they were like, we don't have any place to take this. GameStop, we bought it at GameStop. They can't fix it. The warranty doesn't cover it. Would you guys take a look at it? And we did, and we kind of just figured it out. Like, okay, this is what's going on with this. And then we noticed that there was a lot of these units. Like, a lot of people in Reddit forums and Meta forums were complaining about the fact that Meta wasn't covering like damage to their units. And I think that they've probably gotten better at that over time. I hear a lot of people like are pretty successful in getting their units, replaced. But, right. Yeah. I don't know, because it's a damage thing. So Meta's perspective is, well, you broke it, it's not their fault. It's your fault. I kind of get it from that perspective, but at the same time, it's like, you're not going to offer support to these, like, at that point in time, 5 million people who have bought your product. The Quest 2 ended up selling like 25 million units over the course of its lifetime. So there's a whole ton of people out there who needed support for this unit and couldn't get it. And we just thought, okay, well, we'll start a website and we'll just see if people would send their headsets into us. And people started sending their headsets into us, and it just kind of blew up from there. But yeah, it was really just a young man and his father came in looking for help, and I like helping people, and we just kind of went from there. Some guy I know is getting a bricked V74 Quest 2 replaced with a Quest 3. Oh, yeah. So if it's the V72 issue, then that's kind of different, because that is Meta's bad. Like, and they acknowledge that. What's up, Ari? I see you there. So yeah, the thing when Meta does screw up and it is their fault, they have to make some concessions just to avoid lawsuits, I think. I'm going to be cynical here for a second. I don't think that it's for the sake of the customers. I think that it's so that they can avoid, litigation. Now it was 74. Apparently the Quest 2s aren't safe there either. That's not good. That's the first time I've heard about that, so I'm glad that you brought that to my attention. We actually just updated a Quest 2 to 74 earlier today. I don't have the firmware for V74 for the Quest 3 S's yet, but the 3s and the 2s we can update. Thanks, Ari. I appreciate that. And thank you, Beansy VR. I appreciate that. You guys are great. I'm just glad you're here. Alrighty. And then you guys are very nice. I appreciate that. But yeah, that was a good question. Yeah, the site that everyone uses doesn't have the 3S firmware either. I just got lucky and got the update yesterday. That's good. I'm sure that site, of which we will not speak, because just the name of it will probably get us banned. I'm sure they'll get the firmware on there soon, so that way I can manually update people, if they need it. So yeah, I'm glad to be live. This is kind of a new format for me. If I were to send you my headset, could you fix it on a live stream? Yeah. It is a very weird name. Like, why call it that? Of all the things that you could call it, why call it that? To answer your question, Invro, I want to make sure. Is it Invro? Invro? Can you type it out phonetically for me so I don't missay it? But the short answer is, if you put a note in the box and ask me to do it on a live stream, most of the time I will, as long as time allows. Sometimes I'm just not able to do it, or sometimes they're really quick fixes, and I don't usually do those on the live stream because they're, they go by really, really quickly. And I like to sit here and talk to you guys. So and we're just gonna leave that one like that. All right, now it's time to start tearing down this bad boy. Would you be able to fix my headset? Yeah. Invro. Okay. All right. You got it, Invro. Would you be able to fix my headset? Yeah. What's wrong with your headset, Ari? I got a question. Is there a way to mod your headset to have liquid cooling, even if it's inside or outside the headset? I've not tried. That would be kind of a fun experiment. Preston, could we liquid cool a headset, you think?
Yeah, maybe.
Maybe?
It'd be pretty beefy.
Yeah?
Yeah, we could do it.
We'd have to get something that's screwed in to the existing screw points,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Like where the heatsink sits.
Yeah.
Because it would just take the place of the heatsink and the fan.
The problem is powering the pump.
Oh, I see. So we'd have to get some sort of auxiliary power from the board somehow.
Yeah, you'd have to power the pump. The pump is what draws a lot of the power. It's got to consistently pump the...
Could we add a battery?
What kind of battery?
Like a 9-volt battery?
Yeah, maybe.
Have a little like 9-volt battery extender on the outside with a switch.
Yeah, we could try it. That would be connected to the pump.
Yeah.
You'd have to find a pump that's small enough. Wish you could give it a shot.
Or what we could do is if we got like a USB-C, like the dongles that they have for the, I don't have that Quest 3S right in front of me, but you know what I'm talking about with the pass-through, and then have power go out to another lithium-ion battery, and then when it gets power, maybe that would just power on because it's plugged into the USB-C.
I wonder if it'd have to be like an extra accessory, like the head strap.
Yeah.
And it connects. Maybe when you dock it, to put it on, then it connects the power. But I don't know.
Maybe so. It's theoretically possible. We've just not done it. If it leaks all over. Yeah. Yeah, you wouldn't want it to leak. That's for sure.
That would not be good.
Maybe the link cables with power input. Got so. Yeah. Because if the link cables that have power input they've got auxiliary power built in, so we could just wire it into that maybe. We'll have to workshop it. Making sure the pump doesn't leak. Oh yeah. But like, especially in the Quest 2, the fan unit and the heatsink take up a lot of space. There's a lot of space to work in the Quest 2. I'm so used to sitting here looking at my phone that I'm not. It's weird. It's weird talking to you guys over here now. Have you ever received a Quest 3 with sweat damage? Oh yeah, all the time. So here's the problem. Actually, people ask me this a lot. This is a really common question. It's like, where's the microphone on the Quest 3? Because it doesn't have the holes on the bottom of it like the Quest 2 and the Quest 3S. The microphone actually is right here. You can just barely see these little brass tabs right there. That's the microphone. Oh, actually, I've got a bezel so I can show you. Right there. These are the microphones. And they plug in right here. This is the latch, or this is the ribbon that connects to the board here. So the problem with the Quest 3 is that if breath or sweat, because your breath has a lot of moisture in it, especially when you're playing really hard, gets trapped right here in the seam or under here, if it gets through here or liquid gets in there, then it can damage those microphones. And because that plugs into the volume button and this charge cable, like all of these things right here share a cable. Oops. Let's see if I can show you. All these things share a cable. If this microphone shorts out because of water damage, it'll cause an issue for all of these other components, and then you probably will have a headset that just stops working altogether. It's a real problem. I feel bad for that Quest 3, and the owner has to be at least a $200 repair for a speaker arm or more. So speaker arm repair, if I'm just doing the speaker arm, if I'm not doing the charge port, I think it's 150. You might double check me on the website, but I think it's 150 if I'm just doing the speaker arm. If I have to do the speaker arm and the charge port and the mounting ring, that's 170. But I think just the speaker arm is 150, and then I'll probably replace this face shield for them as well, and that's another 20 bucks. So 170, roughly. Envro, thank you. I appreciate that. That means a lot to me. I love having you guys here. Preston was asking me earlier. We were talking about how long I've been doing this live stream thing because I started doing it on TikTok. We started live streaming on TikTok like 2 years ago, at least 2 years ago. So it's been a fun ride so far. Whenever my Oculus boots on, there is a spark. That's not good. What do you mean a spark? Like, or does it pop? Is it a pop or is it a spark? I'm curious about that one. Speaker arms range from 150 to 190 on your website. That sounds right. That sounds correct. Yeah, so if all 3 components are damaged, your speaker arm's bad, your mounting ring's bad, and your charge port's bad, then that's closer to 200. It's 190. Yeah, and if it's just the mounting ring, then that's 150. How much would 2 controller repairs and a battery replacement cost for a Quest 2? Controller repairs kind of vary. It kind of depends on what's wrong with them. I'd say the average cost for a controller repair is about $45. It's about half the cost of a replacement. Battery replacement is $80 on the Quest 2. We just had a sale on them. We were doing them for $60 there for like a month and a half. And I think that sale just ended. But you can double check me on that. It pops. There is a, I can't.
Is the speaker?
It's the speaker. It's the speaker that pops.
Yeah.
That's right. I don't see that often, but when I do see it, it's usually a loose ground on the speaker is why you're getting that pop. It's probably nothing wrong with the board. It's probably that speaker wire has a loose ground. Because we were just playing around with that a couple days ago. I have to sneeze, and the face shield is 25. Yeah, so they're probably looking at 175, 190 for the whole kit and caboodle.
You can tap the top of the thing and mute you.
Oh yeah, that's right.
You have to.
I will mute myself next time. Sorry guys. I always have this passing thought when I'm working on headsets and I sneeze because it just invariably happens. I'm probably sneezing because I'm breathing in somebody's dust from their house is now in my nose, which is really gross. But it's just not practical to wear a mask all the time. I'm probably going to send it in then. Yeah, please do. It's free to send it in, so the shipping label's free. So you can always send it in to us, and we can definitely take a look at it for you. What are we doing here? I got double the teardown, so I got double the screws. This is the hardest part of the whole job right here, because these screws aren't magnetized, and they're not ferrous, like they're aluminum screws. So my magnetic screwdriver won't grab them, so I have to pull them out with tweezers. Really sucks up a lot of my time. It's very tedious. The Quest 2 repairs go so fast because you can just grab them with the screwdriver. You don't have to worry about tweezers. But these Quest 3 screws, especially those Bluetooth, because it's got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 screws, and they just go everywhere. I drop them all the time. That's full transparency for you. The V74 update's pretty okay, but the one feature I don't have is the web apps unless I'm doing it wrong. I couldn't figure out I was playing around with V74 earlier. I couldn't figure out the web app thing either. I played on it for probably an hour trying to figure out how to do that for the short that I made earlier today, and I could not figure it out for the life of me. The web apps. I thought you were talking about So the web app is you have to go into the browser, and then you go to like where your settings and your history and all that stuff, and it goes make this thing or add this to your library. The one that I couldn't figure out was the multitasking thing. I couldn't figure out how to get that going while I was in a game or in Meta Horizon, and it was probably user error. So I probably should have watched a video on it before I jumped in and tried to make a video about it. Is there any way I can send you an email to send you more details? Yeah, definitely. We have a form right on our website, fixmyoculus.com. You can submit a request for a shipping label, and in that request, you can just type in everything that's going on. It creates a ticket on our side, so you get a little like ticket number, and then we can correspond with you directly through email from there. So it's a really easy way for us to kind of stay in touch with you and, you know, help you resolve issues. So a lot of people, you know, they email in and we just kind of resolve their issues for, like, if it's, you know, if it's something that we can resolve over email, people reach out and we just kind of fix it right then and there. So what's up, Sea-Dog? Welcome to the live stream. That's way more confusing than it needs to be. Why not just hamburger menu? Yeah, I don't know. I'm sure that there are changes to the browser coming, but I think that Meta is throttled by the fact that they're using Chromium for their browser rather than having their own built-in app. I sent my Quest 2 right controller, so about how long will it take for you to receive it? Oh, if you sent it in like just recently, usually I would say shipping time's about 3 to 4 days. It just kind of depends. Like last week we had a snowstorm, so shipping was taking a little bit longer last week. We didn't get things for, you know, until like Friday because we were snowed out of here on, we didn't even come in on Tuesday or Wednesday.
Tuesday we left super early.
Yeah, Tuesday. You came in on Tuesday.
Oh, I guess that's true.
Yeah. Me and Annika, we didn't come in on Tuesday. And then Wednesday we were out entirely. We were snowed out. And then Thursday,
We were out partly. No,
we
out.
came in the afternoon, I think. I came in at noon.
I don't
That's
think I
right.
came in on Thursday.
Are you sure?
Maybe I did. Maybe. Now I can't remember.
Mm,
Thursday. What did we do Thursday? School was out.
maybe you're right. Maybe we came in on Friday.
You came in to pick some more stuff up on Thursday.
Okay.
You were totally out on Wednesday. You came back here
To pick stuff up on Thursday. That's right.
We were all out on Thursday.
Okay. Yeah. So we were almost completely out for 3 days last week. Yeah. So, yeah. So if there's inclement weather, then it just kind of, you know, it is what it is. How much would it cost for you to fix a Quest controller ring that came off? Ring repair is about $45. Could be up to $50 depending on how bad the damage is. Oh, thank you for the information. A little worried because I sent it out 5 days ago. So the shipping label that we sent you, it has a tracking number on it. You can just type that tracking number into Google and it'll show you what the progress is. So if you're worried about the shipping or you don't know where it's at, you can always reach out to us and we can provide that for you. But your tracking number is just on the shipping label that we sent to you, so you can look it up there as well. At Sea-Dog, the USPS is horrible for shipping. Yeah, so I think we're trying to move just to doing all UPS in the future, but nothing's solidified there. I would like to get to a point, and Press and I we were just in this meeting with somebody the other day, trying to get it to where if you send something in, it gets here 2 days later, guaranteed, and if we ship something out, it gets back to you 2 days later, guaranteed. I would love to make that promise to people. We just, because of the way that USPS is, we've just not been able to. Toxition says, hey, I have a question. In a recent video, you mentioned that if one of the microphones on the Quest 2 breaks, the entire headset will stop working. You also said that moisture is the main cause of these failures. So my question is, can I vape while wearing the headset or will it damage it? I wouldn't vape directly into the headset. That's for sure. Moisture for sure is the #1 cause of microphone failures, just because those microphones on the Quest 2 sit on the underside and they'll just collect moisture. They're tiny little holes and, you know, little droplets of moisture just, you know, vent up into them. The at-home remedy would be, if you're just die hard, I'm going to vape in the headset, there's no way around it, a little bit of isopropyl alcohol up in there, just every so often, should clean out any liquid. It'll evaporate any moisture that's in there and any corrosion that's starting to build up. There are little tiny screens on there, so it's not going to be an immediate thing. This is like over long-term use, like constant moisture, constant heavy breathing, or setting it down into liquid. But yeah, I would just take a little bit of isopropyl every now and then, touch those little microphone ports, and call it a day. Do people usually like to buy controllers for parts? There's definitely a market for it. The value on them's not good. I usually, when I buy controllers for parts, I usually buy them for about $15 a unit. So working controllers can go for, you know, anywhere between 70 and 85 depending on where you're buying them from. I feel like I see like third-party people on Amazon scamming the crap out of people and selling controllers for like $130 or something like that for Quest 2 controllers, which is ridiculous. But don't get me fired up about this. But yeah, broken just for parts. Either it's apparently damaged or you don't know what's wrong with it. $15 to $20 is usually my range for that. So you might be able to get more for it on eBay, because there are repair shops like us that buy those things. Or, you know, we might buy it if you put it on eBay. So, because we do that sometimes. Yeah, no problem. Toxygen. If you really need to hit it during the 2-hour VR play sessions, maybe take like a 5-minute break. Yeah, I mean, that'd be my suggestion. Back in my day, we went outside for smoke breaks. Is there a way to fix the Quest 3 controller that is snapped in half? A Quest 3 controller that's snapped in half? Please send me a photo of that. I would love to take a crack at it. What do you mean snapped in half? There's nothing to snap. It's just the whole thing's handle. I hate the Meta Quest Link app. AirLink stopped working randomly a few days ago, and there's no easy way to repair it from the Quest. That's why the Link cable is superior. I've never been super happy with the Quest Link app myself. I mean, I've gotten way better results with Virtual Desktop. But back when we had the arcade and we had the Quest 3s, we just used Link cables. You should make a video on how sending in a headset to fix it works. Maybe I will. I like that idea. I think we made a video like that a while back, but it's been a long time. So yeah, maybe we'll do that. All the way in half, like split down the middle. Like this way in half, like a hamburger bun or like a hot dog bun. I might get, but the $25 price tag is hard to justify. Oh, yeah. It just depends on how much you're using it, honestly. What if everything works except the tracking on the Quest 3 controller? You probably have damage to the LED strip that's sitting underneath the controller. I don't think I've got one that's exposed right now that I can show you. But it's a fairly common problem. Let me see. Usually the tracking doesn't work. I'm not going to be able to get this off without a heat gun. Sometimes they just pop off. Sometimes they don't. The problem with these is that these LEDs sit really close to the outside of the units, and they're really easy to damage. If you're trying to get in here to, like, you know, fix your joystick drift. All the way in half, my Doberman. Oh no, that's unfortunate. Yeah, take a picture of it, send it in to us. You can send us an email with photos or videos on our website, fixmyoculus.com, and we'll take a look at it and give you a repair quote. What if everything works except for the tracking? Oh, that's what we're talking about right now. The adhesive on these things, it goes all the way to the center too. One thing I liked about the Quest 2 controllers was that the adhesive was just around the outside, so if you could sever the adhesive around the outside, you were kind of in like Flynn. And on these ones, it's a total pain to get in here without damaging something unless you really know where to stick your pry tool. Where would you get an LED strip for the Quest 2 to fix it at home? You can reach out to us about that as well. Sometimes we have rings in stock on the website, but they go fast. So we'll restock them, and then they'll sell out, and then we'll have to do an inventory. You know, we don't do inventory that often because our primary focus is repairs. So it just takes a while for us to restock those things, longer than I really would like to admit. But what I'd tell you is send us an email, and we'll try to hook you up. There it is. So yeah, so this is your LED strip. The problem is if liquid gets in here, it just seeps around the edges, or if you're trying to get in here to like take your joystick cap off and, you know, put contact cleaner in your joystick. Sorry, that's not in camera. But if you're trying to take your joystick off and, you know, get contact cleaner in there, just taking the faceplate off is a lot more risky than it is on the Quest 2s. So that's what I've been seeing the most lately, is that people have had these for a while, especially the Quest 3 users, and they're trying to get in there and fix joystick drift, or trying to replace their joystick cap, or, you know, whatever. They're just curious. And yeah, sorry, I had it kind of off camera. I'm so used to looking at this through my phone that this is kind of like, it's kind of like cutting your hair in a mirror. Like it's just a different experience. But yeah, that's your LED strip, and that's probably what you're having problems with. So, and then a little capacitance thing went somewhere. I really like the Quest 3 controllers, but there are things like this that is just like feels so cheap. I will say that about the Quest 3 controllers versus the Quest 2 controllers. The Quest 2 controllers like have their downsides, and like the ring damage is definitely a big one, but I don't know, they just felt nicer to me for some reason. Maybe I'm spoiled, I don't know. I love the face cam. Thanks, Envro. Thought we'd try something new tonight, so.
Seems like it's working fine.
Yeah. I got Preston producing over there in the corner. Make sure everything's going well. Honestly, if the ring was sturdier on the Quest 2 controllers, I would prefer those. Yeah, I think a lot of people would. You know what we should do is we should just like take the plastic, like the ring, and build a mold for it, and then just like pour aluminum in there and make like the sturdiest Quest 2 controller that money could buy.
You know what you ought to do is
The aluminum frame one.
You should have, what's the thing people donate? It's Kickstarter.
Oh yeah,
Do a Kickstarter for a stronger mold or something.
there we go.
Yeah.
Oh, I missed one.
You know, here's the vision. Kickstarter. We need $10,000 to get started on this.
I like that. Maybe we should get a quote for somebody to machine one for us.
Yeah. It'll just Kickstarter.
That'll be our
If you-
Kickstarter.
If you donate, then you get one. You know.
Do you have a competition or are question repairs not very popular? Do you have a competition, or are questions repairs not very popular? I'm not sure that I understand the question. We don't have a competition going on currently. We just wrapped up our last giveaway. We'll probably launch a new one in March. So if you're not subscribed, be subscribed.
Boom.
Do you think Meta is going to provide an update for the Quest 3 so it can track, so the tracking isn't as bad? I think they're always working on it, honestly. Meta's whole model is to provide the absolute cheapest hardware to sell you on the software, because they want you to be involved in their ecosystem. So they get you through the door. I mean, the Quests lose money for Meta. I don't know if anybody else knows that, but they don't make any money off the sales of their Quests. They're literally just doing that to get you involved in the ecosystem so that you will spend money on the App Store. So it behooves of them to improve the tracking and the other features of the headsets as much as they can. But I think that they're limited by the hardware. Business competition. Yeah. Yeah, we don't. I mean, I know that there are other people out there who repair VR headsets, but we don't have a whole lot of competition, to be honest with you. I think part of it is a reach issue. There's just not a whole lot of electronics shops out there who are, trying to reach a nationwide audience. It's kind of unique the way that we run our business. So I wouldn't say that there's no other people out there who repair VR headsets. I know that there are people who repair VR headsets because I've spoken with them. I just think that they're probably a lot more localized to the area that they're in compared to us. My brand new controller is having tracking issues after 2 months of having it. I'm sorry to hear that. That's kind of a bummer. Slayer, they have a battery replacement on their website. Yes, we do. We do have battery replacements on our website. I've been charging my Quest 3 too much, and I think my battery is lower. Yeah. Oh, so that's what you were responding to. Yep. Yep. It does happen. I mean, lithium-ion batteries, they work the same in VR headsets as they do in phones. Why are you guys not as popular? Oh, I don't know. We're a small business, you know. We're doing our best. My friend's controller randomly started not working, and that happened while playing, and one of his controllers won't connect and the other one will, but randomly disconnects. Do you have a solution? My general rule of thumb is, and it's not always true, but it's true a lot of the time, most of the time, if you're having an issue with one controller, it's probably the controller. If both controllers start having issues, it might be the headset. My suspicion would be one of the tracking cameras is probably not doing its job. Thanks, Invro. And so if it was me and I was trying to troubleshoot that headset, I would either I would suspect that one of the cameras, the one of the lower tracking cameras on the unit, is failing. Option number 2 is that both of the controllers got some sort of liquid damage simultaneously. That happens a lot. People who are like heavy sweaters sweat into their hands a lot. They don't notice it, and then all of a sudden they start having issues. Liquid damage and corrosion can sometimes take a long time to kick in, and then things will work. You know, like things will work for a little while. The way that corrosion and liquid damage usually works in electronics is you'll have a problem, like the unit won't turn on, and then you'll let it dry out, and it'll work for a little while. And then all of a sudden it won't work. It'll stop working again a month later, and that's because those minerals and salts and things that were in whatever liquid got spilled in there, whether it's water or soda or whatever, have an opportunity to kick in and actually eat away at the material and damage it permanently. So that's why it's always key to kind of try to catch it as early as possible. Where is our business located? We're located in Rogers, Arkansas. It is the home of the pigs. Yeah, Pancakes. Yeah, you know what you're talking about. Pancakes is a real fan. He knows everything about us. Is it possible to make my quests transparent? It's possible. There was a fellow from Meta. I couldn't tell you his name off the top of my head, but he posted a photo of himself with a transparent Quest 3 a while back on his Instagram. So it is possible. I've been working with somebody to try to help me design outer shell components that are transparent. We've just not been able to make it happen yet. Oh, I missed your comment. I'm sorry. Can my nose piece for the strap that is broken, can I ship my Quest 2 to you guys to get it fixed? Yeah, definitely, Garrett. Garrett Lamar Kennedy Gamer. That's a mouthful, Garrett. But yeah, we fix that stuff all the time. For the strap is broken. Yep. They do texts and calls. Yeah, you can call us. Normal business hours is preferable. But just reach out to us on our website. Our website's always open, and you can always email us. Why do I feel like I'm missing something? Not. Just feel like I am. How long will it take from Colorado if I got it shipped? I'd say the shipping time on average is about 3 to 4 days. So I talked about this a little bit ago, but we're working hard to try to get it to where we can kind of narrow it down to 2 days. But it's hard. It's hard to do. It's hard to get shipping companies to make that commitment so that we can make that commitment to you guys. Thank you so much. Yeah, no problem. And I know I'll be changing my name soon. I don't know. I kind of like it. Garrett Lamar Kennedy Gamer. It's a mouthful, but it's unique. Is headset repair your only job? Sorry if that's a dumb question. It's not a dumb question. I also fix controllers. I mean, that's primarily what we do. Preston, who is my business partner, and we work here together at Fix My Oculus. We also have a brick and mortar called Digital Mechanics. So we do gaming repair or gaming PC repair, console repair, you know, just all sorts of electronics. Right now he's working on an old tube radio, if you guys know what that is. So people bring in all sorts of crazy things, but mostly electronics repair. There's a good question, Invro. I'm gonna cheat a little bit on this one, guys. You're gonna watch the magic happen right here, because I don't want to deal with all this mess. So I'm just gonna tear this down later, and I'm just gonna put this LCD into this frame. How nice is that? That was so easy. That's my little cheat code for you guys today. What's the funniest story you saw when you were in the VR arcade business? Preston, help me out. What's the funniest?
Super scared and just ran out.
Oh yeah. We put some kid into Five Nights at Freddy's. This was early on, like 2021. Yeah, he was with his girlfriend. And he was a teenager. He was 16, 17 years old with his girlfriend. Got into Five Nights at Freddy's and got so scared that he just took off the headset, like threw it to the ground, and ran out of the building.
I'm sure there's more, but that one I remember specifically.
You know, all the frames look the same. So they get a brand new frame, you know. Works for them. What's your most viewed video?
In the dark?
Yeah, long form video. I think it's the Quest 3 see in the dark video, and then short video. I think it's the Quest 3 lens repair video that I did. I think that's got 400,000 views, maybe. I have some videos on TikTok that are higher. I think I've got one video on TikTok that's at 1.6 million. That's probably my most viewed video, and that is just kind of like a video about Fix My Oculus and how we fix headsets and stuff. Would you ever sell custom front shells? Yeah, we have in the past, actually.
There's some right there.
Yeah, I've got some behind me. I don't know if you guys can see them in the background here, but I've got like an Iron Man one back there and one that's got grass on it. That's my pride and joy right there, is the grass one. I've watched those. Sweet. I get so many people to argue with me about the Quest 3 in the dark thing, and I don't know why that is such a hot button issue for people. Like, I made a full video about it, like where I'm doing it, and people just sit there and argue with me. My headset doesn't do it. It's like, I don't know what to tell you, man. I've seen it physically happen. I made the video on it, showing that it happens. The 3S video is really good. Thank you, Inbro. I appreciate that. How did you think of the name for Fix My Oculus? I don't know. It just made a lot of sense. You know, it's one of those things that they kind of teach you. I say teach you. It's one of those things that you got to learn. It's like when you're starting a business, like you want to start something that people are going to look for. You know, you don't want to, start a laundromat and, if you're going to start a laundromat, you want to call it like #1 laundromat. You don't want to call it like fancy cleaner from, Uzbekistan. Yeah, fancy soaps. You don't want to call it fancy soaps because then people will think you sell fancy soaps. They'll be like, is it a fancy soap store? I'm not going to go there. I need a laundromat. So you call it, #1 laundromat. And so when we were trying to think of what we were going to call our website where we fix people's Oculuses, it was like, well, what are people going to Google? They're probably going to Google Fix My Oculus. And then it stuck. How many people work for Fix My Oculus? 3 right now. We're a small company. About as small as you can get. So we've had bigger staffs at points in time, but right now we're kind of running a tight ship. Everybody, what's up, Rozzy? Yeah, we moved, and there were a lot of people that they didn't come with us. They wanted to, stay in the area or do other things with themselves, and so they just kind of took the off ramp. And yeah, we just kind of run a tight crew right now. So we'll probably be hiring more in the future just because we are growing. But right now we manage with the 3. How much do you get paid in a day? There's they say that there's 2 rules in polite society. You never ask a woman her weight, and you never ask a man how much he gets paid. So it's just a rough rule for you. Rough rule. I hope my poor Vive was okay when he threw it down. I would hope the link cable saved it. Yeah, we had the Kiwi pulley things, so most of the time the Vives actually didn't take that much damage. I found them to be pretty resilient units. But women their age and man their salary, but I guess weight too. Oh yeah, you're right, Pancakes. Pancakes, you're just on it. I'm interested in working though. I would say there's a lot of factors at play when you go into owning your own business. You basically pay yourself whatever is left. That's probably what I could tell you is there's rent, and then there's payroll, and then there's taxes, and taxes are a lot. Taxes are like 35% of what you make. So, you know, if I charge $100 for a repair, there's probably $30 of that just goes to taxes. But rent and bills, and, you know, you got to buy parts, so that's got to be factored in, and shipping costs, and that's got to be factored in. And then you just, as an owner of a business, you just kind of pay yourself whatever the residual is. So there's really not a fixed number on what I make, to be honest with you. It's just kind of like whatever the business makes minus expenses.
Nothing.
Yeah, the first couple of years we didn't pay ourselves anything.
Nothing.
Like, yeah, it was a very low margin business. All right, buddy. Thanks for hanging out. Hello, I just got the Quest 3 a couple days ago. Not noticeable differences after 3 years with the 2. Yeah. Well, you know, everybody's got their preferences. I think if you've never experienced VR, the Quest 3 is going to blow your mind. But if you've never experienced VR, the Quest 2 is going to blow your mind. And I would say too, some people are just a lot more sensitive as far as like what their specific IPD is, how their eyes focus, what makes them nauseous. And I think that plays a factor, because some people, you know, they get inside the Quest 2 and, or the Quest 1 even, and because it's not as adjustable and because of the Fresnel lenses, it just has a tendency to make them a little bit sicker than if they got into a Quest 2 and the lenses are they're a little bit more forgiving and the IPDs are a little bit more forgiving. The screens aren't noticeable. Some of that depends on what you play too. Like if you play games like Gorilla Tag where the resolution is pretty low, you know, you're just not going to get the best bang for buck out of that experience compared to playing something that's a really high resolution game, you know, that takes advantage of the higher resolution on the Quest 3. My Quest 2 was falling apart anyway. A couple days ago, me and my friends went on a teacups ride and went spinny ride. It goes in the air. My friend said not to spin because he threw up, and then he did. He did it right after. Yeah. Yep. That's why I don't go on teacup rides either. Everybody say bye, Preston.
Bye, Preston.
Bye, Preston. See ya. I'm usually here by myself. Here late at night anyway. So all right. How and where did you learn to fix Quest headsets? You know, you just the old-fashioned way. You just do things and you troubleshoot things. I mean, that's really what I feel like in any repair business, people are paying for your knowledge. And the more unique your knowledge set is, the more they're willing to pay for those services. So, you know, part of the reason somebody was asking earlier about competition and are there other people that repair VR headsets, and there's not a whole lot of people who repair VR headsets because there's not a whole lot of people out there who are willing to sit down with these units and troubleshoot them and really figure out what's going on. Any drop-off repairs that were never picked up or Quests never paid, so you just have them sitting around. I heard it happens a lot in cell phone space. Yeah, it does. I wouldn't say it happens a lot. I would say maybe 1 out of 100, maybe once a month. We have somebody who really doesn't. What's up, Owen? Yeah, it's not very often. I have a lot of people who will they'll accept the estimate. Like when we tell them, hey, it's going to be this much, and they go, yeah, that sounds good. And then we'll do the repair, and then we'll send them the invoice after the repair's done, and they go, actually, I just bought a new one, so you guys can keep it. So we go, okay. So that does happen. And some people do go no contact, which is weird because it's like, I've got your $300 or your $500 device here. Are you sure you don't want it back? But, everybody's required to give us a phone number. Everybody's required to give us an email. And if we can't get a hold of you via phone and email, then what else can we do? What do you do with the headsets? I usually hold on to headsets for about 6 months before we internalize them. So I give people a really fair amount of time. I feel like it's a fair amount of time. Ugh, my chair's sinking down. I feel like it's a pretty fair amount of time to pay their invoices or get in contact with us. And if they don't do anything within 6 months, then we internalize those units. What's it like repairing a valve index? They're a nuisance. They have these weird spring rod mechanisms on the inside of them that make them like taking the actual lenses, the LCD panel or the OLED panels out of those headsets is a nuisance. We fix them, but I don't like fixing them. It's probably my least favorite repair to do. 6 months is half a year. Well, the thing is with our business, because we are a small business and because people mail in their things, it's just one of those honesty, transparency things. I don't want people leaving us negative reviews or going online and talking crap about us because we stole their device or whatever, so it's like, hey, you got 6 months, like it's right here. Anytime you want to pay it, you just pay it and we'll send it back to you. And even then, sometimes people still leave nasty comments because that's just part of running a business. Part of running a business is you just can't make everybody happy. I will say you fixed my son's headset and controller, worked wonderful, still going. Thank you. I appreciate that. If you have used our business and you guys get a chance to do reviews, that does help us out a lot. What's up, Void? How's it going? We're getting close to the finish line here, fellas. Can you buy storage on a Quest 3? You can't really buy storage on a Quest 3. The chips that are built in, like the storage chips, are kind of fixed to the device, and because of the fact that the Meta operating system is locked. Like you can't reflash one of the storage chips the same way that you could reflash a hard drive for a PC or for a PlayStation or something like that. I wish that they would allow us to do that because that would solve a lot of problems for a lot of people. If I could just reflash the chips and just had the operating system was just open source, gosh, it would solve so many problems. But because Meta locks their software and prevents us from doing that, the storage kind of is what it is. Maybe you could take on some repair businesses, like repair headsets, then also buy and flip the headsets and sell refurbished too. Yeah, we've kind of done the refurbished headsets. I think it's just from our standpoint, the headsets serve a better purpose as components for future repairs rather than because like I could sell it. I mean, this is kind of letting you guys on the inside of our business here a little bit, but if I sell a Quest 2 right now, right? Somebody sends in a Quest 2 for repair and it's $80 to fix it. I'm doing a battery swap on it. And then the customer decides, actually, I don't want it anymore. You guys just keep it, or they just go no contact. So I'm out the cost of the battery and the cost of the labor and the cost of the shipping, et cetera, et cetera. Let's say it's $80. It's less than that because of the profit margin, but let's just say it's $80 that I'm out on that headset. And then the most that I could really sell that headset for by itself is probably less than that. It's probably, probably $100. on eBay or Facebook Marketplace, maybe somebody would buy a headset for $100. Or I can part that headset out, and then I've got the LCD panel, and that's $50, $60, and the charge port, and that's like $30, $40. Or I could use that headset for other repairs and help other customers, and that's usually what we do. So, because it's better for our business and it's better for other people rather than just turning around one refurbished unit. I feel like that's just not seated right. Probably is, but I just feel like it's not. This is the part that's really easy to mess up, by the way. They went with this button latch system rather than the ribbon cable flaps that they had on the Quest 2. Ribbon cable flaps on the Quest 2 are easy to break, but it's easy to know when you're seated in there. With these ones, you really kind of have to, I don't know. I don't want to say know what you're doing, but there is a feel element that goes into this. All right. Pretty good. Toxic. Have you guys ever had a limited edition item? We did a fireworks quest a few years ago. Oh, and we had these like America quests that we did that were pretty cool last year. Thanks, Owen. I appreciate that. You got banned. Oh no. I'd reflash the Quest with Google XR when it comes out. That's an idea. I would love to try doing that. See if we can make any ground or cover any ground. Because I've got a bunch of chips. I've got a bunch of boards that are just dead because of bad firmware updates. It's a surprisingly common problem. You know, people run out of juice when they're trying to do a firmware update, or they do it wrong because they're trying to do it themselves through a sideload update, and they just screw it up, and then they got to send it in to me. Oh, I'm sorry, Envro. I didn't mean to miss your comment. What was your comment? Dan, I'm almost at 100 subs. Are you proud of me? I am proud of you, man. That's awesome. Build that channel. Believe it or not, the only reason I bought the Quest 2 and 3 was for Rec Room. It's been a long time since I played Rec Room. This screw is... I gotta be ambidextrous for this one. How can I get more storage without having to delete apps and games? There's not really a way, unfortunately. Not that I'm aware of. I wish there was. I wish I could give you an easy answer on that. When do you live stream normally? Honestly, I just kind of do it whenever I can. I try to go in the evenings, weekday evenings. I would like for it to be a more consistent thing. I'd like to be able to do it like Monday, Wednesday, Friday kind of a thing, but that's just not come to pass. In all the time that I've been doing it, most of the time it's just whenever I can. Let's make sure this gets power. There we go. That's a good sign. What's up, Allie? That's right, Arkansas. What's your most weirdest Frankenstein quest? I don't know. Man, I'm offended by you. Why are you offended? Where is your shop located? And can you look at my first message because I'm not writing all that again. Oh, hold on, Allie. Really competitive player. No. Where's your shop located? I have a Quest 2 that I broke down for no reason. It started to download screen factory resetting. There's no effect. Allie, you have a broken camera sensor. You can send that in. I think it's $80 to fix a camera sensor. Thanks, Heartslaver. I've heard from the multiple texts and calls my mom gets from UARK. We don't even live there. That Arkansas has had some horrible weather. It snowed really bad last week. It was something awful. We were snowed out of here for like 3 days, which never happens, but it happened last week. Because we don't really get a whole lot of snow here. But man, when we get it, we get it. But I forgot one thing. When the controller is... Press the button, blinks once every second, but not the SOS blink. It's hard to say, buddy. Sometimes that controller's blinking like that because it's got liquid damage. Sometimes it's just because something's disconnected. I have to troubleshoot those controllers pretty much every time because there's just not... The problem with the controllers and troubleshooting the controllers, and one of the reasons I tell people, like, the only way to really know is to open it up, is because there's just not a whole lot of indication as to what's going on. Like with a headset, you can hear the fan, you can see the tracking loss error loop, you can, okay, this is going on. You can isolate things down really easily and determine it's probably that. Not 100% of the time, but a lot of the time. With controllers, you just got to open it up and take a look. And left the cats. I don't follow sports. I'm sorry. I'm sorry, Allie. It's the hardest part of the whole job right here. Getting these non-ferrous screws back into the slots. Believe it or not, it's the part that I like the least. I've noticed that Giovanni has gone from the same stream. Rip. Oh, yeah. Yeah, where is Giovanni? He's usually here. He's probably busy tonight. Yeah, sorry, Allie. That's the problem with being as big of a geek as I am. Is that I don't have enough time for geeky stuff and for sports. They made me pick at birth. Do you want to be into geeky stuff or do you want to be in sports? I picked geeky stuff. I'm an old middle-aged guy, so I might be a little hectic about sports. Yeah. There's a whole group of them out there. My friends are into the sports. I mean, we got the Razorbacks around here, so I've got a ton of friends that are super into the Hogs. But it's just never been my go-to level of entertainment. The only time I've stopped in Arkansas was at a hotel just outside of Little Rock, and they had Supercharger and some Little Rock ball, and he had a corn sticker on the stall. If I was going to stop at any place in Arkansas, it wouldn't be Little Rock. It's like a running joke about crime in Little Rock. All the commerce has moved to Northwest Arkansas because of the crime in Little Rock. Like, our capital is still technically bigger than Northwest Arkansas, I think, but nobody lives there by choice. I'm sorry if you live in Little Rock and I just offended you, but you know that what I'm saying is true. I dropped a screw down in there. I was trying to screw that back in. I'm glad I remembered it because it would have been a pain to shake out the other way. I've heard Orion Drift isn't it the G-Tag dev game that has the sports aspect? I don't know. I've not played that one. You guys probably know way more about VR games than I do. I have this like peripheral knowledge of the things that I jump into for fun here and there. And then there's these people that are like, they know everything about VR games. I aspire to be like that. To know everything about the industry. Opened early access today. Maybe I'll jump into it. Yep, that's right. I just fix them. When you fix things like this all the time, the last thing you want to do is go home and put one on your face. Unfortunately. I mean, sometimes I do, you know. But I gotta be in the mood. How long does it take to fix a MetaQuest 3? Well, you're kind of watching it in real time right now. I tore one down and then took that frame and the speaker arms off of it, and then threw all the guts from the bad unit into that frame with the nice speaker arms. So, however long we've been streaming, somebody's probably got a clock on it. For some reason, I don't have a timestamp. I can't actually see how long we've been going. But yeah, however long that is. My friend plays Blade and Sorcery. Do you guys know if they're any good? So if I am going to jump into VR, Blade and Sorcery is kind of a guilty pleasure of mine. I love Blade and Sorcery. Blade and Sorcery on the PC with the mods, like the Star Wars stuff, that's my jam. What's up, Xavier? Welcome to the party. You're getting in right on the tail end of it. Alrighty. That just about wraps it up. I'm going to reach out to this customer and see if they want to polish these lenses. Some people don't believe it or not, they're like, no, I don't want to pay for that. They're fine the way that they are. So it's one of those things that I kind of want to do it. Like the repair guy in me wants to fix them, but I know that not everybody enjoys paying for that stuff. So without being asked first, that's just kind of the nature of the business. So with that said, and we got to clean this off. This is dirty. Pancakes. Oh, can we see a lens polishing? I would, but I gotta ask the customer about it. Maybe we'll do that on tomorrow's live stream. If they approve it, then we'll come back tomorrow. We'll take this face mask back off, and we will do the lens polishing tomorrow. But let's see. Let's see if we get power. Unless we're totally dead here. Yeah. Got the battery sign in there. So we're going to let it charge, and we're going to reach out to the customer and see if they want me to polish up those lenses for them, and then we'll come back and we'll stream a little bit more tomorrow. Thank you guys so much. I know this is a new format for us, and you guys can